Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling.
It was funny, right before we did that, you know how you always get an itch on like your nose or something, right, when you know you can't? I was so worried that if I started to itch my nose, it would totally look like I was picking my nose.
Yeah, well, it would.
I just was like going like this, like really quick. So now I'm just letting everybody know. It was just an itch. I'm just trying to get the little itch away.
Stay with us.
Stay with me here. No judgment.
Well, you recently added to your family a little bit.
I was going to see how you were going to say this.
Well, because, you have a big family as it is.
I do. We have
I love to talk to you about your family because I don't know how you do it all. I do not know how you do it all. But then you decided your 5 kids weren't enough.
No, we decided, like, you know what? How can we add to the chaos and craziness of the McClellan household? So we got 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Not one dog.
Can you tell the story of getting the 2 dogs? Because
in all fairness,
I really love
Victoria and I have been working on Matt for since Victoria knew what a dog was. Okay. So working. No. I don't know how I somewhat got a glimpse of him to say yes within the last it must have been like October.
You were working on it.
It was a weak moment. You know how I remember one time someone said, spouses know when you could hit below the belt, and the spouses also know when it's an opening of okay, I could ask for anything right now. So I took that opening and I ran with it, and I brought him to see these puppies. And after you see the puppies, and there they are right there, they're bigger now. But when we first met them, they could have fit in the palm of my hand.
Yeah, they were so tiny. They were very cute.
But
wow, they are big now.
So we're supposed to get one. We're supposed to see the blankets in the corner.
Yes, I do see the blankets.
My whole house is owned by these 2 dogs now. So we were supposed to get one, the little girl on the left-hand side, Callie, and then
can you tell the difference between them?
I can. That's Callie right there. She's smaller. Rigby, once you see their faces side by side, he's like a chunky monkey.
Okay.
He's so delicious. His paws are huge. I've bonded with him. This one is just he's my guy. But when we went there, the guy said, listen, no one ended up taking this guy. Oh. And I remember, and actually Matt was the one that said, you know what, let's just get 2. It's going to be easier. We're always out and about.
How? Is it easier?
It's not. And that's what I'm here to say. It's not easier.
This is actually a confession. This is a true confession.
And this is what I was saying to Ashley the other day. I now have to pretend it's easy at home because I can't let my husband know that they've slightly killed me.
I wasn't sure how much you were going to say about this.
Oh, no. I'm going to be very honest. It's a lot of work. I underestimated it. Probably should have gotten 1. Maybe none. It's I'm here and I'm nervous about them.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be nervous about a dog.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work.
They're gonna rip up the house.
Just are they okay? Are they going to the bathroom in the house? Even last night, one of them peed in the house, and I'm tiptoeing over because I don't want Matt to know. Matt can't know that it's
guys. Matt can't know.
Difficult.
Don't tell Matt.
They are the best things in the world. I have to say, they are it is. It's unconditional love. You run in and they see you, and I'm so happy that we did it. Okay. It's just the work that goes with it.
Yeah.
So
this is a warning.
It's a lot. It's a warning. If you're going to get a dog.
Wanted to talk about this as a warning.
Well, my neighbor wants to get a dog, and I said to her, I'm like, you know what? It's just prep yourself. And also, no one told me this tip. Don't ever get a dog in the winter. Oh. Because and actually, our good friend, obviously, when David comes on, oh my God, why am I forgetting the name? Dogtopia. When David comes on, he said to me recently, he's like, Audrey, you only get dogs in the spring and summer when you're training them for the first time.
You were so set on getting a dog. I don't think you were seeking out advice.
It was not.
You had a mission, and you weren't asking anybody what they thought.
No.
So that's why you didn't know.
No, I didn't know.
You weren't soliciting advice.
No,
you were I'm doing what I want to do.
It is what it is. I'm just going to do this. But, I get a dog when it's a little bit easier to train them outside. Mm-hmm. But, yes, are they amazing and awesome? Absolutely. Is it a lot of work? It's a ton of work. It's a ton of work.
There's your tip of the day or your warning of the day. If you're thinking about getting
a dog, definitely do it. Just be prepped that it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
You're not going to get a dog. I know that.
Oh, no. That's not happening.
She's not getting one.
I can barely take care of myself. I don't believe me. I definitely will not be getting a dog. All right, stick around. We have a fabulous guest up next right after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Spotlight New England. Today's guest is a mom, a pop culture queen, and somebody who's already very comfortable in front of a microphone. We are so excited to welcome Bekah Berger from 92 Pro FM.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're so excited to have
The
you.
one and only.
I have to say, I do feel very comfortable. Like,
Do you
not
feel
just
comfortable?
It's not just the microphone; it's just the intimacy of being with the both of you.
Yeah.
We've known each other now for several
Many
years.
many years.
So it just felt good. Immediately when I saw Ashley, we're both in this like
I know.
Both were.
beautiful.
I didn't get the
both
pink
wore
memo,
pink.
guys.
Spring pink. I know.
Next
Sorry.
time I will. Sorry, guys.
We'll
We'll
just-
plan ahead.
You just need to like get on our mental wavelengths.
You
so
guys
we
are on a
could-
different
yeah,
wavelength.
we
You
were.
are.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I got it. Well, I have to do another lesson, but Ashley now knows how to send a voice note. Do you know how to send a voice note?
What do you mean, like, as in like a
Well,
text?
so yesterday we were, like texting.
Yeah.
But she sent me a voice note, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna voice note back because she likes it.
I
And
love
then I
voice
had a lot to say, so it
I don't
was
know if I
easier,
know how
but
to send a
like
voice text then.
but I don't know if I did it right.
I'm gonna show you
because
the
yours
easier
came
way.
up as just like right in there, and
Yeah.
mine I had to go through like the outside. That's how old I am. Like I'm bad with technology.
No, you got to give yourself more credit. The voice note is less of a commitment than a phone call.
Yeah.
So you know
Okay.
how sometimes when somebody calls you and
you
get
don't
that
wanna
pit in
answer,
your
which
stomach,
is-
it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
man.
I don't like talking on the phone all that much.
So it could be
Personally.
your partner, it could be your mom,
Yep.
it could be a friend, it could be your kid's school, and immediately you get that
Yes. Yes.
like in your
You're
belly,
right. You're right.
and you don't want to pick it up. Voice note, it's not committal. Like you
Yeah.
can just
I
go back
love
and
it.
forth, and you get the words as they come in.
Oh,
so you don't
necessarily
necessarily
have to. I love
Yeah.
this.
Will you voice note with anyone? Are there certain people that
You know what?
prefer?
Ashley knows me so well because
love
there
it.
are only certain people
Yeah.
that I decide to voice note. So if
Race
if
with
I
your
love
voice
this.
note.
if I invite
I was
you to
excited.
voice
Yeah,
note,
no, I was excited.
that means we're in.
You've been brought into the circle. It's the
Yes.
Bekah inner circle.
Yes,
See,
of the
you're
voice
in the inner
notes.
circle.
Yeah,
I would
no.
love to get one from you.
I'm gonna show you how to do it, and
Okay.
it's gonna change your life.
It's
Oh,
gonna change
it's
my
definitely
life.
going to change your life because we already do a lot, and you do it more than I do. The voice to
Yes,
text.
and it's always jumbled and bad.
Yes, so
Yes.
this is like next level.
Heck yeah, I get
Sometimes
that.
I have friends that send me voice notes, and I sit there with like a bag of popcorn and listen to the voice note because like they cover all these topics.
Really?
And it's like watching TV because I'm like listening to everything. Oh, they
That
did
long, huh?
No,
I sent you
I
a pretty
love
long
it.
one. I sent you a pretty long one, and I
She
was like
loves it.
looking at the time, and I was like, "Oh, God," I literally said like, "This is too long." Bye.
Yes.
No, it can never be long enough.
I feel like I eat like that though, because I have to say, Bekah, I probably follow a lot of people on Instagram. Your stories are
They're
my
long.
favorite stories.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
No.
Bekah, I love it
Thank
because
you.
you are. I always joke like you are my in-person TMZ,
I appreciate
Online, Perez Hilton.
Thank
you know
you.
everything before it happens.
I'm in good company with those.
Well, I'm telling you, you are my girl. So like pop culture, have you always been into pop culture? Like even like middle school, high school?
So I always go back to like two things that my mom did that I think set me up pretty well. She had an Entertainment Weekly subscription when I was like 8 years old. So I would read that, like if it wasn't Judy Blume, it was Entertainment Weekly
It was your
cover to
Bible.
cover. The second thing was she managed Blockbuster videos.
Oh,
So
no way.
she managed a Blockbuster on Tioga and Coventry. I'm trying to lean local. And then North Main Street in Providence.
Okay.
And so she would bring home movies before, like,
Really?
they would hit the street. Like, they
Wow.
would
Yeah.
be screeners.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
And so I think, and she was also the cool mom that took us to like midnight shows, like
Oh my
Austin
gosh.
Powers.
Yes, yes.
So I think that really set me up for success.
Yeah.
And couple that with like my dad being super into sports. So like
Yeah.
every morning we would sit and watch Nesson, and I'd see these women who talked about sports, like the Bruins, the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Pats, and he would say, "You could do that one day." And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I can.
For you. I
Forget
love
being
it.
a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher and all those very noble professions. I want to talk into metal one day. And that is what I'm going to do. So I think that sort of was like the deep seed. Ashley and I grew up in the TRL generation.
Yes, yes.
And so I think running home from school every day
Yeah.
when I was like
Yeah.
in the middle of harassing the Backstreet Boy chat room with like my NSYNC
So you whoa.
fandom.
I was gonna say, are you a Backstreet?
I code switched with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Look at
So,
you.
but in between harassing in the chat rooms back on the AOL days, I'd be watching TRL. So I think that like those were like the
Yeah.
little breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
So it was all there, and you're like
That
literally in the fabric of your your DNA, genetics
led me to where I am today.
love that.
You know, you really have been working so hard for so long, and I'm so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you.
I feel the same way about
as
you.
your friend.
Thank you.
And I just, you know, you're a Rhode Island girl. I think a lot of people who are watching today already know you. But like, I love that you're like born and bred Rhode Island girl, home market. Like, take us through your journey a little bit.
Yeah, grew up in Cranston, and I went to 3 different elementary schools, and that's not because I was in the gifted program. It's just because I think my parents just wanted us to hit every little cornerstone. Like, grew up in Edgewood, and then went to Woodridge, which is in the Dean Estates section of Cranston, and now, and then Eden Park. My parents currently live behind where the park.
So you actually were moving.
And used to be for a couple different reasons that I'm sure my parents would not love for me to put out. Nothing illegal, and just some family stuff, but it was all above board. But I really think that it kind of is one of those things where you have to be a chameleon if you're going to 3 different schools, and you know, you have kids.
Absolutely.
And I think that, did your kids have to switch districts
They
at
did
one
in
point?
middle school.
Yeah, and so
not easy.
You have to sort of, I don't know, take on I'm just happy to be here.
100%.
Try to be friendly. And so, you know, it's one of those things where you have that as a foundation, and then I go back to how fascinated I was always with pop culture, whether it be Entertainment Weekly or Total Request Live, or as simple as staying home on a Friday night to learn Britney Spears dance moves.
Who didn't, right?
You know, and then even in high school, like probably something similar to maybe what Ashley did. Like, you participate in, if it's not the newspaper, it's at Cranston East, it was the Bolts Broadcasting Corps.
Okay, yeah.
So every morning you do the morning announcements, you get kind of a feel for it. And then my first year for post high school, I did a year at CCRI, and that's when I did my first radio internship, because I always thought, oh my goodness, look how cool TV is. Like, you get to be in front of a camera. And I always said that news is like your original reality show.
Yeah, it's true.
And one big thing in our house was every night we'd watch the nightly news, and that was, you know, kind of how I was introduced to that, and how fascinating it was. Not just like the names of in Rhode Island, like Buddy Cianci, Bruce Sunland, and all these fascinating figures, but we also grew up in a time where it's the Bill Clinton scandal and O.J. Simpson.
Yeah,
it was. You're right. It's almost like everything was coming together to, like, now that's very normal, obviously, to see stuff like that. But at that time, with like Court TV now was broadcasting the O.J. and like it was news, but it was reality TV in a way.
Yes.
Because it was a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, and you were watching all of
You
that.
just brought up a great point. Every day these days feels like Bill Clinton and OJ.
That's very true.
Because it
very
seems
true.
like every day there's a million different stories. But it was, you know, my first radio internship where I was like, you know what? I can't discount radio. Like, it doesn't seem to be as many, I don't want to say rules, but there was less, you could be
It's
more
looser.
yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did an internship there. So then I went to URI for the following 3 years.
Okay.
And then I did a television internship and a radio internship. And I was like, okay, this is
where you want to be.
I studied journalism at URI, and I still go back to URI. Sometimes they still have me do alumni stuff, and the stuff that they have now, the equipment is so much nicer than what it was.
Oh, I
when
know.
was
Isn't it
there.
nice to go back to your alma mater and be like, oh, wow,
I wish I had
all this?
You have more than one Mac?
Amazing.
This is
Wow.
crazy.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
But it's just, you know, I look back on stuff like that, and now I've been in radio in the same building for 18 years.
It's been 18 years now.
Because I started at WPRI, which is our news talk station.
Yep.
Started, it was the summer of 2007, actually. Buddy Cianci had just gotten out of his stay, if you will.
His retreat.
His second time around retreat, his sabbatical. I think it was in New
sabbatical.
Jersey. And they needed a call screener. And, you know, you grow up in this industry, you say yes to everything.
Yeah, yes to everything.
That's ethical. And
That's ethical.
Right,
It's
right,
true.
right, right, yeah.
Good
And
disclaimer.
The opportunities.
you say yes to all the opportunities. And I said, of course I want to be part of the Buddy Cianci comeback
love it.
experience. And so screened calls, learned how to produce, promotions, marketing. I was with PRO for 5 years.
Okay.
And then I really loved being on the air. They gave me a weekend shot in entertainment, and I was Gene Valicenti's producer. And he's still in our same building too. And then I went to Hot 106 for several years and did music. Like I switched over to music over there, and it was completely different because you go from politics and hard news.
Yeah, that's a switch.
And the topics of the day basically back more into my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's such a natural fit for you.
It was. And then I got really, really lucky with an opportunity a couple of years ago to go really to my dream radio station, which is currently 92 Pro FM.
Yep.
I mean, growing up listening to Giovanni and Kim and then being able now to sit next to Kim every day, I still pinch myself and I think I can't believe the journey. But really it goes back to always saying yes to things that are ethical and really just kind of keeping your eye on it and saying to yourself, you got this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't always like, you know how it is. It's not always easy and you're humbled all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Every day.
And it's not exactly, everybody thinks all of this is so glamorous, but there's a lot of hard work that goes behind it.
And especially on, the levels that we're all at, like there's a lot of hard work and in the TV and radio industry. But I love now, like you said, that you're on with Kim every morning.
Yeah,
like
it's a true blessing.
love like this, camaraderie that you all have over there at 92 Pro FM. Your little like girl clique.
Some female power.
I am loving the videos you guys are posting. I told
Thanks.
Barbie this the other day when I saw her.
Yeah.
The videos you guys are posting, it seems so genuine, and I'm just really enjoying it and eating it up. And I just feel like you guys have just, brought things to the next level.
And I thank you for saying that and thank you for noticing it. I think we're all sort of, I always go back, and I know I already said this, but we really are truly part of the Just Happy to Be Here Club. The fact that
Best way to be.
And we've all known each other. Like these are very deep-seated relationships.
Yes.
Again, Barbie, Jess, myself, Kim, 18 years,
Yeah.
20 years, like these friendships, they start obviously as work relationships, but then they blossom into true friendships, true womanhood, women supporting women in a business that classically never
Isn't like that.
wasn't always like this.
Yeah.
As you know.
And I do think it is more so now, which is fantastic. And we do the same thing here.
Yeah.
We're like, let's do things together.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Like,
power in numbers.
why are we not doing things together?
Totally
we
agree
hang
with
out
you.
together all the time.
Yeah.
Now we work together because we were, friends before
Yeah.
Yes.
we started working here. And we're like, let's do things together.
Yeah, and I love that power in numbers,
Right.
Because it's so
true, right?
true. It's better to be part of a team than have to go off and do
Totally.
things on your own.
Totally.
The other thing too, I want to point out, it is a tough time, not just obviously in the TV industry, but in the radio industry, it's tough. We have a lot to compete against.
Yeah.
It's podcasts.
Yeah.
I always like to say, I just said that news was the original reality show, but radio people really were the original influencers.
Yes.
They were
Yes.
doing these live
Yes.
reads.
The reads. You guys
Yeah.
still do the live reads, like
Authentically, or making it very personal.
Yeah, and that's basically what influencing is.
Yeah.
And so when I got into this business, the really big competition I feel like at that time was like iTunes and people being able to download music. And it's so much different now.
We've seen the evolution
So
big
different.
time.
There's so much to compete with. So I think that going back to the whole joining up in womanhood, that's one advantage we have.
Yeah.
Is going at it together
Yeah.
rather than, again, just having something else to compete with.
And tell me this, what is your favorite part? Because we all get to listen to you in the morning and you bring people in. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And the chemistry you guys all have is like spot on. But what's your favorite part about what you do? Like Bekah, personally, yourself.
I mean, it's a two-prong, right? Like the first thing is the fact that I get to talk about pop culture and the things that, normal people would probably say, that doesn't matter. Like
I love that doesn't matter.
it does.
People.
my comment.
It's like, well, it doesn't, I guess, but
It doesn't, or like the who cares. Clearly, I care if I'm posting
cares?
about
You
it.
do. A lot of people that
actually, you
care.
do respond
I don't
to
know.
them.
I think I care.
She's great at responding.
I know.
But I love being able to talk about that every day. Rhode Island, too, is really proving to be such a force in the entertainment industry in these last few years
So
specifically.
true.
We've got Taylor Swift at Watch Hill with Travis Kelce. We've got
Yeah.
Olivia Culpo always leaning into Rhode Island.
Yeah,
and now
that's
we have
true.
Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So the spotlight is truly on Rhode Island, and it's a great time to be able to cover it. The other thing that I love is that we get to talk about our lives every day.
Yeah.
I mean, the most mundane, silly things, but there's something about that human connection, that relatability.
Yes.
You can't really get that anywhere else besides local radio, local shows like The Road Show. You know, silly things will happen at my house and I'll just bring it up on the air the next day. And it's amazing just to see the connections from the text line we get. Oh, that same thing happened to me, Becca, and here's what I think you should do about it.
Well, you know what it was? Is that when you first got here, and now I remember when it was, you and Kim were talking about how one thing in the morning that you don't do completely changed your day.
Yeah.
And I came in and I thought
Oh, yeah. Audrey
thing.
was like, I want to talk about it.
Right.
I was like,
I'm
great,
like, if I don't make my coffee in the morning, if it, like the night before,
Your whole
my whole day's off.
completely
So you
thrown
are
off.
so right. You are so relatable to people, and you do that. You're right, through your personal lens.
Yes, like I'm wearing a bra I really don't like today, but it's because it was the only thing that was clean, and it couldn't have thrown. It did throw off my day a little bit,
Well,
but
especially with our hours in the morning when you're trying to get ready and get out the door and get to your very hard deadline-driven job.
Yes.
You're like, this is what I'm wearing. This is where we ended up.
Take it or leave
that's
it.
That.
And we're getting ready in the dark.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
The sun is starting to come up.
Yes.
A little early.
It was very light.
And that's throwing me off.
Yes.
Getting lighter.
It is.
Getting lighter.
It truly is.
I love you, Becca.
Becca, we could talk to you for 17 more
I
hours.
could.
So
I easily could.
I would like to formally ask you to be a recurring guest on our
Would
show.
love
because
to.
We could break down once the housewives start and
Yeah.
all of
Yes,
that.
we
and
could.
And I'll wear a
going
much better
on?
bra next time.
See?
Yes.
I think your bra looks great. Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Women supporting women.
Look at this.
Literally supporting.
Literally, quite literally. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank you.
And we have much more coming up after this break. Welcome back to Spotlight New England. And I was just looking at my phone because an ad was popping up, and I was trying to get rid of it.
You're like,
because,
no.
Well, because there was this article that I found that I wanted to share with you. I was telling you about it. It says Gen X women are flocking to early bird clubs that close at 10 p.m. Now, let me go ahead and say 10 p.m. is already too late for me.
You're
I
already
want
sleeping for hours.
I want like an early bird.
Yeah. We're like
club.
grannies.
But and technically, I think I'm a millennial and not Gen X, but I feel like I'm close enough.
Yeah.
But are you like an early bird or are you more of a night owl? I honestly don't know what you're going to say because I feel like you're kind of both.
I'm just going to say I'm definitely both. I mean, before I started the job at the Road Show, I would be up until like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I mean
and that's when you worked, right?
Yeah, I worked from home, so it doesn't really necessarily. And I didn't need to get I don't need to get like 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sure a doctor would say to me,
really.
Listen, you have to for your health.
You don't feel like you do?
I really don't feel like I need to.
So how many hours do you think you sleep in?
I mean, I probably go to bed now. I probably head up around maybe like 9 or 10, and I fall asleep maybe around 11.
Okay.
And you know me, I'm usually up around like 4.
Yeah, you get up early.
I'm an early riser, and now with my dogs,
I know.
I'm definitely up at an early. But you know, in all honesty, I would categorize myself as both. But you are, I would definitely say, an early riser.
100%. I've always been that way.
Like
I've just
100%.
I've tried to fight it, you know, being in this industry we were just talking about. I've worked so many different shifts. So like I've tried
You tried to switch it.
and I can't, my body just, I like the morning. I like the sunrise. I like having my coffee and watching news and
let me ask
seeing
you
what
this.
happened overnight.
When you're out with Josh at night and it's going to be like maybe like, I'd say like 8 or 9, are you tired?
Yeah. I am.
Like you
I've
can
gotten
feel
a
it?
lot better.
Okay.
Because now we've, you know, been together for a few years and, you know, we have the kids that I had to adjust
I was going to say, that is an adjustment.
everyone else's schedule because obviously, like, they're, you know, they don't go to
They
bed.
don't go to bed.
I had still, but like on nights we're all home, I do go to bed before everyone else. I
Right.
go to bed before the kids.
Yep.
I always go to bed before Josh. If it's just he and I, we usually will go to bed at the same time because
Yes.
we're like watching something together or whatever. But I'm just an early bird.
Yeah.
I don't do well when I stay up late. I get cranky. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I've had it.
I mean, I think back, my niece is 24. So granted, I know like she's young, she's got the energy, and like they're going out at 11.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
my,
she'd be into this
never.
like, you know, early bird type of thing.
Absolutely
But
not.
I mean, listen, I remember being 20 something where you like stay out super late. There's no way I could do that anymore.
No, absolutely
No
not.
way.
So if there's an early bird club here in Rhode Island, please let us know.
Please
I
sign
would
us
like
up.
to join. Maybe I'll start it, but I
Start
want it to be so early that I actually like start it before the thing that they said.
I love it. You should
want a
definitely
matinee.
start one up.
Matinee, 4
Ooh, that's a
p.m. is
good
a
one.
great time, you know?
I love it.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Spotlight New England, and we'll see you next time.